Bit chilly here on the Bluff this afternoon. 53 degrees and partly cloudy, but we're wrapping up our 4-game series between Utah Tech and Portland today. The starting lineup for Utah Tech as they go up against Ryan Rembis, coming off of his perfect game just last Tuesday, 6 days ago. Levi Randall will lead things off, followed by Ethan He, the designated hitter. Ryan Krapel will be the third baseman, batting third. Finn Stewart bats cleanup out in right field. Kyle McDaniel, the sure-handed second baseman, will bat fifth. Ty Johnson gets the start behind the plate. He'll bat sixth. Aaron Perez moves down in the order. Their first baseman bats seventh now. Ethan Royal will get the start, batting eighth. And then Petey Soto Jr. is the shortstop, and he'll be batting ninth today for Utah Tech. Portland going to be wearing their black uniforms. It's the black cutoff jerseys with Portland in purple across the chest. They've got the white pinstripe pants, black socks on today. Take a look at JT Landwehr manning second base with the stirrup socks. For the Pilots, Utah Tech in their gray uniforms. Utah Tech in red across the chest. They've got red block numbers on the left lower oblique. Red piping down the side of the gray pants and the red stirrups for the Trailblazers as you take a look at them inside their own dugout. Trying to even the series today. Overall, coming into this weekend, Utah Tech was 1-3 against Portland. Now they're 2-5 after falling behind 2-1, dropping the last two on Saturday and Sunday. Rembis picking up where he left off last Tuesday. First pitch strike to Levi Randall. Randall starting his 8th game of the year. 12th appearance in a game. He's hitting .318 with 7 hits. Slider leaves the zone. Randall didn't bring the head of the bat around. It's 1-1. Came into the series with just 2 hits. He's gotten 5 hits so far and 3 stolen bases in the last 3 games. Chased the slider out of the zone against Rembis, 1-2. Defense playing back for Portland. The 1-2 count. Randall into foul territory. This should end up in the bullpen for Portland, and it does. Go back to the 1-2 count. Gray skies here at Joe Edsall Field. The lights have been turned on at the stadium for our 3 p.m. first pitch. Not as nice as it was the first couple days. We had 60-plus degree days, clear skies. Randall taking ball 2 high. Randall, the junior from Enterprise, Utah, fouls off another pitch. This goes into the parking lot that's in between Childs and Joe Edsall Field. Goes down with a strikeout. First out in the first inning. Ethan He, the designated hitter, will come to the plate now. Rembis with his first strikeout of the day. He had 12 strikeouts against Seattle on Tuesday. 12 strikeouts was a career high. So was the outing itself, 9 innings. His previous high was 4. He takes a strike to open up this at-bat 0-1. He, a senior from Riverton, Utah, hitting .200, just his 6th game of the year, 2nd start. Rembis puts this one over the white line of the right-handed batter's box for a ball, 1-1. Minimal numbers, just 1 hit and 5 at-bats, but that 1 hit did bring in a run. Pops this one up. It'll leave the field of play, 1-2. It's his 4th year with the Trailblazers. 16 starts as a freshman, 39 as a sophomore. And he'll go down with a strikeout. The second one for Rembis here today. 2 gone as Ryan Krapel comes to the plate. Again, you see that movement at the very end out of the hand of Rembiz. Crapo with his first at-bat of the day. That pitch misses over into the right-handed batter's box, 1-0. Crapo's a sophomore from Poway, California, transferred in from Arizona State. Sends a fly ball out of play for the first strike of this at-bat, 1-1. Crapo on the year is hitting .333 as he makes his 13th start. 14 hits, 11 RBI. 11 RBI leads the Trailblazers. This ball missing below the zone, 2-1. 6 of his 14 hits have gone for extra bases, 2 doubles, 2 triples, and 2 home runs. He's been incredibly active at the plate for the Trailblazers this season, and even in this series at times. With the swing and miss, it's now 2-2. In Game 2, he gave Utah Tech the lead on a single swing. It was a grand slam, pulls this ball foul. Goes back to the 2-2 count. With his team trailing 2-0, came to the plate with the bases loaded in the 6th inning. And the first pitch he saw, he sent it over the fence in right center field and gave his team a 4-2 lead. Instead, he'll go down with a strikeout, and Rembiz, 3 strikeouts to start the day after his perfect game last Tuesday. 3 up, 3 down. No runs coming on the mound for Utah Tech. It's Brock Roundy, the junior from Washington, Utah. He's making his first start of the season, his 3rd appearance. Has a 6.35 ERA through 5 2/3 innings. He's given up 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, 4 walks, and opponents are hitting .238 against him. First year with the Trailblazers, transferred in from Clark College just across the river in Vancouver, Washington. As he goes up against the Portland Pilots, let's get you their starting lineup today. Jonas Salk is set to lead things off for Portland. He's the starting shortstop tonight. Cody Nidowitz out in the left field. Bats second. Brady Bean, one of the hottest hitters in the country right now. He's out in right field, batting third. Curtis Abear will be cleanup, bat over at first base. Zach Talia, the third baseman today, bats fifth. Doyle Kane back into the lineup as the designated hitter, will bat sixth. Landwehr hitting 7th at second base. Mensch, man center field. He'll be hitting 8th, and then Riley McCarthy rounds out the bottom of the lineup, and he'll be tonight's catcher. Fairfax, California native comes to the plate. It's Jonas Salk. Salk is hitting .216 this year as he makes his 10th start, 12th appearance on the year, 8 hits and 37 at-bats, 5 RBI, 2 home runs. Had a leadoff home run last Tuesday in that perfect game for Ryan Rembiz. He's had a rough go of it in this series, though. As Roundy starts out with a strike on Salk. Salk 0 for 9 in the series, but he did reach base in the game on Saturday, taking strike 2, falling behind quickly. Ended up being the game-winning run. He was standing on second after a wild pitch, got him in a scoring position. Cole Katayama Stahl had the double off the wall and left. That clinched the victory for the Pilots. At the time, it tied the series up at 1 game apiece. Salk taking the fastball off the plate, 1-2. Pilot bats came alive yesterday, and they got 10 runs on 12 hits. This ball bouncing into Ty Johnson behind the plate. It's 2-2. Mentioned Roundy coming from Clark College just across the river. In his lone season with the Penguins, he went 6-1 with a 2.45 ERA during his sophomore season, striking out 71 batters in 69 and a third innings. And after starting out Salk 0-2, the junior has worked himself back to a full count. Salk fouls off the pitch into the backstop. We'll go back to the full count. We might see some rain later on, mainly just sprinkles. Well, we've got the clouds coming over the hills in right field, and you never know what weather will be brought over. The way the defense is set up, it looks like they're expecting Salk to hit it to the right side. A big hole between short and third. And the breaking ball into the zone at the last minute. Salk strikes out looking. And that'll be the first out for Portland as Cody Nitowitz will come to the plate. Redshirt freshman transfer from UC Santa Barbara. Nitowitz is hitting .346 as he makes his 7th start. And his 11th appearance, a switch hitter for Portland. Mainly been going up against righties at this ballpark. This is the first time that we'll see him bat from the right side, going up against a lefty. High above the letters for a ball, 1-0 to start off Nitowitz. Nitowitz taking ball 2. Third baseman Krapel toes on the infield grass as the infield plays back. Otherwise, the 2-0 to Nitowitz. Strike at the knees on the inside part of the plate. 2-1. Nitowitz came from UC Santa Barbara but did not play last year. His varsity career hit .312 over 3 seasons, had 43 stolen bases over those 3 high school seasons. Fouls off that pitch out of play to our right across the street. It's 2-2. Almost no wind looking at the flag in the outfield at the moment here at Joe Etzel Field. The 2-2 high and away for a ball. Another full count for Roundy on the mound. One out here, bottom of the first. And Nitowitz with a good eye takes ball 4. First man is aboard in today's game. That brings up Brady Bean, the right fielder for the Portland Pilots. The former GNAC Freshman of the Year, transferred from St. Martin's University, Division II. He comes from Kennewick, Washington originally. Stands at 5'10". He's the right fielder for the Portland Pilots today. His 19 hits, ranked 2nd in the West Coast Conference this season. Takes a strike to open up this at-bat. He's hitting .432 through 11 games as he makes his 12th start. 10 runs scored, 13 RBI. That leads the Pilots. It's the only Pilot with double-digit RBI on the season as Nitowitz back over to first safely. No slide needed. Nitowitz 1 for 2 in stolen bases this season. He was caught stealing in game 1 of this series. Roundy from the third base side throws. Bean puts one in the air into right field. Stewart will make the catch in right center field. Going back to first is Nitowitz, and the flyout marks 2 gone for Portland, bringing up the outfield for Utah Tech. Levi Randall in left, Ethan Royal in center. Finnegan Stewart is in right. Ryan Krapel, the third baseman. Petey Soto Jr. at short. Kyle McDaniel is the second baseman, and Aaron Perez over at first is your first baseman. Ty Johnson getting the start, his 2nd start in this series. First pitch to Hebert, off speed for a strike away, 0-1. He's been splitting time with Andrew Pyle. Nitowitz takes his lead off, about 6.5, 7 feet off the bag. Roundy looks over at him. He'll attack home plate. Hebert gets on top of it, chops it foul over by the third base coach's box, 0-2. Earlier before our game at Joe Etzel Field, they recognized the women's basketball program for the University of Portland as they won a share of the regular season WCC title. Hebert taking a ball inside. 1-2. First regular season title, or share of it at least, for Portland since 1997. They are the 2 seed at the upcoming WCC tournament in Vegas next week. Hebert, it's low. Nitowitz goes, stealing second. Johnson unaware as he was trying to see where that ball was. It popped out of his glove right in front of him as it was a low trajectory on the pitch. Nidowitz with a delayed steal. It pays off. You'll get a look at it right here. Not his best jump, but enough to get the stolen base. He's in scoring position for Hebert with the 2-2 count. Second stolen base for Nidowitz this season. Breaking ball. Hebert fouls away to our right. 2-2. Hebert takes another breaking ball, fights it off, and it goes on top of the dugout for Utah Tech. Resetting on the 2-2 count. Hebert, by the way, on a 5-game hit streak when he comes to the plate. A couple streaks going for Portland right now as he's bats with a slightly closed-off stance, and he sends it into right field. Nidowitz set around third. Hebert could have an RBI. The throw into Johnson. It beats Nidowitz, but Nidowitz underneath the tag. And an RBI single from Curtis Hebert gives the Pilots a 1-0 lead. 6-game hit streak, and he gives the Pilots the lead. Pitch that was away from him, and a large opening with McDaniel having to cover the bag at second. And you'll see the play at the plate. Initially, it looked like the throw beat him, but Nidowitz gets by Ty Johnson, gives the Pilots the 1-0 lead as Zach Talia comes to the plate. Talia is manning the hot corner for Portland in this one. Fouls off the first pitch to the backstop, 0-1. Talia's hitting 167. Through 11 games this year. He's making his 11th start, 12th appearance. 6 hits, 6 RBI. 4 of his 6 hits have gone for extra bases, including 2 doubles and 2 home runs. Hebert with his lead. He's going for second. Protecting his runner, it's Talia. Fouls it off, 0-2. Talia, though, it's a minor streak, but a streak nonetheless. A 3-game hit streak, 5-game on-base streak. But he was struggling before coming into this series. He's hitting below 100. That ball out of the zone as Johnson having to drop to the dirt to block it with his body, 1-2. We talked about how seemed like Talia just needed to get 1 hit to go his way, and it ended up being a double in game 1 of this series down the right field line. It was fair by a couple inches, maybe. Breaking ball, turns on it into left field, but Randall was playing back in front of the warning track, and he'll make the catch on the flyout. The Pilots, they strand 1 on first, but Curtis Hebert opens up the scoring with an RBI single. Finnegan Stewart looks to respond next for Utah Bonds to Portland getting 1 run in the bottom of the first. But Ryan Rembes, coming off of his 12 strikeout performance against Seattle U on Tuesday, struck out the side in the top of the first. Finnegan Stewart wearing number 40, the freshman from Anaheim Hills, California. He's hitting .270 on the year, and the first pitch he sees sends it into left field. Stewart rounds first, headed towards second as Nidowitz couldn't field it cleanly, and a leadoff double for Utah Tech. First hit given up in 10 innings for Ryan Rembes. The streak had to come to an end at some point. And the freshman for Utah Tech breaks it up. Kyle McDaniel, the second baseman. The left-handed bat will come to the plate. Sophomore's hitting .396 through 12 games, making his 13th start on the season. His 19 hits leads this ball club. Squares to bunt and pulled it back just in time as that ball fell out of the zone, 1-0. Now for Utah Tech, you see them trying to play a bit of small ball. With a man on second and McDaniel. See if he tries to bunt again. This time he doesn't. Waits on it, and he's rewarded with another ball. 2-0. 5 RBI on the year for McDaniel. 3 doubles, a triple, and a home run for extra base hits. Squares to bunt. And another pitch that's out of the zone for Rembiz. 3-0. Key for him against Seattle U was getting ahead on the hitters. Seemed like every time he started out either 0-1 or close 0-2. Instead, it's a 4-pitch walk for McDaniel. And the first 2 hitters are aboard for Utah Tech in the second. Perfect opportunity for Ty Johnson to tie this game up. Johnson, the former Gonzaga Bulldog, in his first year with Utah Tech, is batting .167 through 7 games, making his 6th start of the year. 3 hits and just 18 at-bats, but he's driven in 3 runs. Corner infielders on the infield grass for Portland. Rembiz puts a strike at the knees on Johnson, 0-1. The 0-2 or 0-1. Golfed into center field. Coming up is Mensch. He'll field it on a couple hops. Comes up throwing towards home. It's off the mark from home plate. McCarthy couldn't stop it. And both runners will move up an extra base. An RBI single for Ty Johnson ties us up. And both runners are now in scoring position. Stewart scored. McDaniel is over at third. Low pitch that Johnson went after, and just soft enough. Mensch was waiting on it for it to get to him. Stewart slides in. First pitch strike to Aaron Perez. 0-1. Perez already behind 0-2. The senior from Santa Ana, California, is hitting .242 as he makes his 12th start of the year. 8 hits and 33 at-bats, 9 RBI. With 2 home runs to show for it as well. The 0-2. Ground ball and past the shortstop into center field. Mensch will field it in left center. McDaniel scored. Ty Johnson will score. It's a 2 RBI single for Aaron Perez. And just like that, Utah Tech has taken the lead. They were trailing 1-0. Now it's 3-1. And the infield going to be brought in for Portland. Still nobody out. 3 hits and a walk for Utah Tech in this inning so far. Portland offensively, you feel comfortable enough to try to make your way back into this game. It's only 2 runs. It's Ethan Royal, the center fielder, comes up to plate for the first time. Rembiz off the plate to the right-handed bat, 1-0. Thinking back to that perfect game on Tuesday and Rembiz's response. He showed you the final out in our open, the 1-0. Fouled off. It's 1-1 on Royal. But his face, when you looked at him as he put his hands up in the air, it's almost as if he couldn't believe it himself. Little emotion shown, but you could see his teammates absolutely thrilled for him right before they mobbed him on the mound, the 1-1. Royal, who had squared to bunt, is awarded first base as he tried to get out of the way. So runners on first and second with Perez moving up. And yep, got him on the calf on the left leg. It's Jeff Loomis, the head coach for the Pilots, will go out and do a mound visit now. can see Rembo in your frame right now. Same demeanor as he's had all year. Not just all year, but all of his career here on the Bluff. Unfazed. Take a look at Jeff Loomis, a UP alum, playing at Portland from 1990 to 1992. Part of the last time a Pilot team made it to a regional. Ethan Royal still trying to feel things out. He got hit in an awkward spot, that front leg, so his left legs, he bats from the right side, got hit in that upper calf area, just below the knee, and he seems to be okay, gives the thumbs up. And Petey Soto Jr. will come